Why, hello there, scrubs, and welcome back to Dopefish's Dota 2 school! Okay, I'll stop doing the voice. People didn't like it. Hopefully, this one will be a bit more informative and a bit less annoying. This is lesson 5. This will be the continuation of your first game. I will be teaching you how to lane as a support. This is a replay we will be watching, and we will be watching it through Somebear's point of view. Somebear is a member of our community who recently picked up Dota, and he does do some mistakes in this game. I will try to point them out when they happen. Hopefully you will learn something from this lesson. Somebear is playing Lich. Lich is a really powerful hero, but it's still rather easy to play. It's a very good beginner's hero. Of course, as a good little boy, Somebear asks, is anyone getting the courier? And since nobody is, he gets it for us. And then he picks up his starting items, which is stats and some regen. His starting items are a little bit weird, but they suffice, I suppose. He then asks, what lane should I go to? And we decided he should be bottom with me. Normally, he'd be going to bottom lane right now, but since he's playing Lich, he has a special duty. He needs to pick his third skill and then wait in mid until the creep wave spawns. The third skill is a sacrifice, which lets him kill an allied creep in exchange for mana. Anyway, he uses this on the middle ranged creep in the first creep wave in order to help mid out a bit. It makes the lane less pushed, which makes it safer in the early game and easier to win. And after he's done that, he goes straight to bottom lane to babysit me. The goal of a lane support is to get your carry to the carry stage. You need to babysit him because he's weak and vulnerable in the early game. There are baddies wanting to hurt him. You need to keep the baddies away and protect that little carry until he can grow up and become a strong man and win the game for you. As you can see, Somebear isn't taking any of these last hits. He's leaving them all to the carry, which is the correct thing to do. He doesn't need the money like the carry does. Instead, he's focusing on denying and harassing. Harassing is important. Have I mentioned this yet? I don't think so. To harass, it is to attack the enemy hero. You notice every time the enemy heroes come close enough, he's there, it's poking at them, he's just poking at them. He's just fucking relentless. He's not letting those enemy heroes stay near the creep wave, which lets me, the carry in this situation, have all the free farm I want. The enemies cannot deny because if they try to go in and deny, he's there poking them. Just poking them all the time. Relentless. It's so irritating to lane against someone who is harassing well. It's also important to note that when you attack an enemy hero, the enemy creeps will attack you, so you need to run back, or otherwise you will take a lot of creep damage. You're not allowed to tank the creeps in this game, remember. Do not tank the creeps. So attack, run back, and while all this is happening, your carry is getting the free farm. And look, the enemy's health are suddenly low. Somebear decides to throw down a slow, his Q, his nuke. I blink in and we start punching these enemies, we're just punching them. Their health is going down, what's going on? Oh, look at that! First blood for our team. Bonus gold for us. Bonus experience. We're winning. And all thanks to the wonders of harass. Now, to be fair, these enemy players, they're bad, and this setup is bad as well. Vengeful Spirit doesn't have any range, so which makes it hard for her to do anything. Then again, you will be facing enemies like this when you're starting out. The bottom bracket, it is about this skill level. You will be playing against baddies, and hopefully, thanks to my lessons, you will be able to win, because you know the wonderful secrets of harassing. Now, if you are from League of Legends, welcome to the superior game! Oh, that'll be fun in the comments. Anyway, there's a thing that I see many people do wrong. They use way too many spells in the laning phase. A lot of heroes in this game have really small mana pools with really slow regeneration. Don't just use your spells willy-nilly. Now, if you're playing Lich, however, you're gonna use that nuke every time it's up. Because you have that wonderful sacrifice, you're just gonna fucking zap, eat a allied creep every time you need some mana, and then you're gonna fucking nuke the enemies with fucking lightning and thunder. I guess it's ice really, but it's more fun if it was lightning and thunder. Anyway, as Lich, feel free to spend as much mana as you want. You're gonna harass with spells with Lich. Lich is a wonderful beginner's hero because he's so easy to play. Now, we actually fail at the kill here. We almost get killed in return, but luckily we get away. Vengeful Spirit actually decides to use her spells for once and stuns and save the Spirit Breaker, which is nice. Anyway, I'm just showing you this to demonstrate something. Regenerative items that you brought at the start of the game. They're very useful. Now, look at our healths. We have very low health. If we didn't bring these wonderful tangos and potions at the start of the game, we would have to go back to the well, no? Because you can't be in the lane with that little health, like Spirit Breaker will just charge in and kill you. So that's why you buy the regen in the early game. It's very useful. It allows you to stay in the lane, keep farming, keep leveling, most importantly, and just win the game. Regenerative items at the start. They're a must on almost every hero. If you aren't buying regen and stats at the beginning, you better have a damn good reason not to do it. A quick aside on teamwork. Meat Cleaver is playing mid and he's like, oh shit, Storm Spirit is missing, it's going for bottom rune. And I'm like, oh shit, nigga. I go towards the bottom rune, I check what it is, it's Invis. I don't see Storm Spirit, I blink down there. I steal the Invis and I get out of there. That's teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. If Meat Cleaver hadn't said anything, I would have had no idea. And this way we managed to deny the guy the Invis. I couldn't really put the Invis to good use, but I still managed to deny his Invis, which is great. Now, as for mistakes Somebear did in this game, we have no wards. Not a single ward during the first, like, 98 minutes of this game. We also have a Wisp which didn't buy them, but that's just Weevil being retarded. I mean, one of our supports really should have gotten wards. That's a big mistake. Also, Somebear, he gets level 6. There's nobody at bottom. There's no need to babysit me. And he doesn't go ganking. It's probably my fault, because I didn't tell him. I did tell him later on, though. But yes, once you have level 6, because Lich ulti is so strong, you need to be starting to gank. After a while, I finally realize it and tell him to go buy a TP and go help the other lanes. Maybe they're in trouble. I'm just free farming down here. So he tries to gank top. It doesn't quite work. But then, through amazing presence of mind, he buys another TP and comes back to bottom as I am getting ganked. And look at this. Look at the powers of the Lich ulti. This ultimate really is powerful. In the early game especially. So it bounces. You click a target and then it bounces from that enemy onto a random nearby enemy. If there are no nearby enemies, it just stops and doesn't do very much. It's best used when there are only heroes around, like in the jungle, especially if they're close together without any good ways of running away from each other. Alright then, this lesson is dragging on, so I thank you for watching, and in the next lesson I will continue watching this game with you, and we will go over what happens after the laning phase, when we start pushing and team fighting.